folks. Welcome to the Shoemakers Academy. I'm Wade, and here we are in the workshop today. And I've got this box from a viewer, and I think that we're probably going to see some fake shoes. So if you're interested in learning how to spot fake shoes and how to tell, make sure you don't get ripped off, and just learn about quality, what to look for, how to inspect, what the difference between a real shoe and a fake shoe is. Well, this is a perfect book for you. It's called How to Spot Fake Sneakers. You can find this over at shoemakersacademy.com. You can also find it on Amazon. And you can search by How to Spot Fake Sneakers, or you can search by Wade Motawi. That's me, the shoe dog. All right, so that's that. So this this box is coming to us from a viewer, and these are shoes that he has told me that he collected on vacation, and we are gonna open it up here and see what we got here. Okay, so according to the inner boxes, we have 3 pairs of Nikes. So let's see what we've got. Okay, first we got a Nike SB. And we have another Nike and another Nike. Fantastic. We'll get this out of here. And we are going to see what we have here. So let's flip these on end so you can get a look at the end labels here. And what we've got here, now these boxes look a little worse for wear. Okay, so what we have here is a Nike Dunk. Negro Nubuck Blanco. Okay, so black Nubuck in white. And we also have a Dunk Low off-white. Okay. And we have a Blazer Blanco Negro. Okay, and now this one says Hencho in Mexico. Okay, so first things first. Knowing that these were coming, I want to do a little research to find out if Nike is actually making shoes in Mexico. And granted, I didn't do a huge research, but it doesn't take very long to see that they actually they did. In 2017 and 2018, Nike did work on some kind of a shoemaking assembly operation in Mexico. It did not survive for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why. But okay, so let's look at these things first. I mean, these boxes are absolutely pulverized, and we'll just start here with the with this one here. Now, so when I've seen enough of Nikes to know that this is not a real Nike shoe box. The color of the paper, the softness of the paper, the thickness of the paper is all wrong. This end label looks like no end label that I've ever seen, because usually you have the UPC code, and then you have the style code. So there's like at least 2 different barcodes on it, and also I know from the construction of the box how they design the cutting die. Because this cutting die here, and we'll just take a little bit of second just to stay on the box, is hyper efficient. How it's folded, or I mean not how it's folded, but how it's cut. There's not a lot of wasted cardboard here, right? And that's why this is all shaped the way it is. But also, it's quite soft, it's quite thin. But also, an actual Nike has a lot more interlocking features, and this top edge usually rolls over. I don't have another one right here. I have some upstairs in the storage area. But anyway, so this is not, and just by the condition of it, this thing is hammered. This is not a real box. Okay, and also the other part is this is supposedly an off-white pair of Dunks, and that the actual off-white shoe has some special box, and I think I've seen this model has a foil box on it, really foil finish. So not looking so great. Okay, so let's look at the shoes here, and these are pretty rough. You know, I see a lot of wrinkles. I see the perforations actually don't go through the shoe. You can see the backing material behind. I see some seams grinning. The collar openings here are shattered. They are really wrinkled. I can just look down inside and I can see that the footbed's not flat and the footbed's not glued in correctly. You know, these colors aren't matching. You know, the stitching quality is all over the map, straight, curved, and this actually is pretty cool. The little on the real shoe, this is overprinted, whether they screen it or inkjet it or however they do it. But on this one, you can see that they've made it on a clear fabric decal and laid it over, so you can see it's sort of stuck on there. You know, another sort of dead giveaway is this thing is really light, which leads me to believe oh man, yeah, I mean this outsole unit, you know, this, you know, Dunk outsole unit has the up and down on it, which that is correct in feature, but it doesn't have all these cut lines in it. So I'm not sure why those are there. You know, the channel stitching wanders in and out of the groove. You know, there's nice wrinkles here. You know, this is actually supposed to be round, and then also this should have a Nike logo on it. And this one obviously does not. There's also some texture missing. Now I've got an actual pair of Dunks, and a little bit later when we go to cut these apart, we'll do some more comparisons. But yeah, these are looking pretty shattered. You know, the toes don't look symmetrical to each other. You know, when you, oh yeah. There's some glue strings there, and here's an actual you know, stitching thread that is trapped underneath it's trapped underneath the overlay. There's a little X-ray here. So when you say X-ray, you can see where this underlay comes, and this material here is so thin you can see where it ends. So there's a little bump, and on the same one here you can see that bump X-raying through. And when you're designing your own shoe, sometimes you'll see a little X-ray like that, and you'll want to say, okay, let's figure out how to stop that. You know, there's some great stuff here. I mean, these holes are a little close to the edge. You know, this stitching, there isn't supposed to be a big gap here. And also the stitchers kind of came here and they kind of wandered around and straight and curved and jagged edge. Again, the channel stitching has wandered out of the groove. You know, this shoe has an alignment mark for the center of the tip, and it looks like it's actually not quite on center. There's a nice little glue schmutz sticking out there. During the lasting, they've pulled a little bit too hard, and it's starting to grin. You can see the thread sticking out there. Let's just open up this. I mean, I love this effect on the off-white. It's so cool. Okay, so the tongue here. Okay, there's no stuffing paper. Oh, so this actually feels really like kind of cardboardy, and you shouldn't really see the backing material down through the holes. You shouldn't, you know, or it should be darker color or something. But I can feel when I reach inside here, I can feel that this whole back of this vamp is all saturated with glue. This pair of shoes, if you were to put this on your feet, and I don't recommend that you do, is awful. And this one, same thing. Oh yeah, I can just feel it's all saturated with glue here. And we're just gonna lift up the footbed and just take a look. And the footbed is die cut, and I'm not sure if the actual when we get the real Dunk down here next to it, we go to start cutting, we'll take a look inside, but I can see the shoe is board lasted, which may or may not be right. I don't think actually Nike board lasts the shoe that way, but we could be wrong. And then this the way the cord goes through, there's a big knot. There's a big knot. So right here, instead of the shoe how it goes through, I mean actually I have not held the actual off-white one in my hands to examine it, but the fact that the cord goes through here and there's a big knot there, I wonder if this is the same way. Oh yeah, so that thing is definitely going to be poking into the side of your foot. Here's the other thing that I enjoy about this one too, is that the woven label is not actually a woven label, it's just screen printed on there. So yeah, shocking maybe is the word. I think if I remember correctly, these cost what, 250 or 300 pesos. So what is that, 12 or 20 bucks? And I'm looking at this outsole unit, and we'll be able to tell a little bit closer, but it looks to me like this is actually not compression molded rubber. It looks to me like it's probably injection molded, and we'll see. I think, yeah, actually looking at how clean this effect is, and there's no color dam in that area around it, so that kind of tells me that this is actually an injection unit, not a pressed rubber unit. But when we open it, we'll take a look. Now actually I'm gonna, yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear that. So there's no foam in the bottom of this, and what you're hearing is the glue sticking and unsticking. So as you're walking down the road, you're going to hear that clicking. Pretty fascinating. The foam, the tongue, I don't think there's actually any foam in the tongue. And I know this shoe doesn't have a lot of foam in the tongue, but there's no tongue in the foam. Oh, okay. Also, you know, there's no heel counter in there either. So, okay. So, just in case you were wondering, these are not real. But I'm really looking forward to opening these and taking a look. So, okay, that's the first pair. So, off-white Dunk, and yeah, these are pretty awful. Okay, we're gonna set those aside. And now we have just a regular pair of Nike SB. Now I can see a few things here. I mean, obviously it's the same situation. This is not the correct way the cutting die for a Nike box is made. And there's no tissue, okay, on top of that. And now you see the color transfer. Now this is called crocking. And not that high quality shoe boxes don't crock. You know, the color doesn't transfer from one to another, but cheap ones always do. High quality ones may not. Okay, so let's take a look here. So again, this is another pair of Dunks. Interestingly, that there's actually, these are not, though that one was a Dunk also, it is coming from a different counterfeiter, because you can see the outsole design is very different, right? So we've got the logo, we've got a different design pattern here, we've got a little bit different texture, right? And actually this is interesting because you see the up and down. I wish I had the correct Dunks right here with you, but we'll look again when we cut this open. We'll look, but you can see how this is kind of wavy instead of, and this is closer to correct, which is more up and down, but still hideously wrong. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Okay, this one at least has a heel counter in it, mercifully. Whoa. Okay, so you can just see how soft this shoe is. So, all right, so let's take a look here. A little bit dirty, really rough cutting here. This is supposed to be curved, and it's actually, you know, kind of square. it's got alignment nibs and it's got some pretty rough cutting. You can see this, how shaggy that is. Because this is black stitching, you can't see entirely how bad it is. This shoe is not quite sitting so straight. At least this one, it is at least sitting straight on its bottom. What I'm looking at is I'm looking this way to see, just how straight the thing is. And when you look at this one, you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, but how it's pretty twisted. And when you put these two together, the heels aren't quite touching, and they're kind of rocking, they're kind of rocking back and forth. Now, this a little bit has the same problem, which is, this is supposed to be a woven label, and here it is. It's just printed on fabric, okay, and sewn down. And I should roll over the top if I'm not mistaken. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this little ear flap here. It's just the poly the synthetic fiber here, material here. There's no reinforcing on there, so the minute, it has to go through the hole in the upper, because the minute you try to pull on that thing, it's just gonna blow out. And actually, you can see the pretty rough cutting. The holes are kind of already joining together on the inside lining. Now that logo with the outline inside, I don't think I've ever seen that before. So that looks like it was made up. And now I'm gonna just start lifting up the footbed. Oh yeah, man. Okay, so what I've done is I've just peeled up the footbed. It is just a die cut piece of EVA, and there's a fibrous board here. And now what I can see. And this is cool. I'm happy that I can show you this, because this is another shoemaking technique. Obviously not original. Nike does not make this shoe this way, but this is partially why the shoe is so flexible. As you can see right there, the egg crate in the bottom of it, and I can see these injection ports. So this is not a compression molded rubber outsole. This is injection molded, and you could a little bit see the crispness of the parting line, which actually on injection molded units you can see that. So this is probably, yes, this is PVC. It smells like PVC. Okay, so let me undo some more laces here so you can get a good look at this. Is this the one? Okay. Well, I'm going to keep this intact because this is the one I keep, and this actually is the one we'll cut open later. But we'll undo this nice show. I like the show lacing. That's pretty good. Good technique there. Okay. But what I want to get this open so you can see, okay, there's no foam in the tongue. For SB, you should. Is how this shoe is lasted. Now, in this other shoe, you saw a lasting board, right? Or you would see a stroble, right? Where there's a piece of fabric over it. But here, in this case, you don't see any of that. What you're actually looking at here is this piece of string, right? So this shoe is made by a process called string lasting. So there's a cord, and here you can see it here, is sewn into the perimeter of the upper. And when it's on the last, you just pull that cord, and that's what pulls the upper material around the last. And then you tack it in place, and then you just glue the outsole on. So that's why the shoe is so soft, because there's no stroble. It's string lasted. Now, the string lasting necessarily a terrible way to make a shoe? No, actually, for small like ballerina flats or some direct inject type shoes, string lasting is perfectly fine. For a shoe like this, no, you should not make it that way. Again, there's no cushioning in the bottom of this, and when you put a hole through the bottom of this shoe, it's going to go right into your foot. So yeah, at least it's got a heel counter. It does have a toe box in there. You know, and actually the non-woven here, I mean, okay, that's not great. The tongue connection is relatively smooth. The lining is a little bit gluey and dirty already, I can see. But you know, actually, you know, relatively smooth and wrinkle free. So despite the fact, I mean, this shoe is quite soft. This actually shoe might be comfortable to wear. I mean, other than there's no padding in the tongue, and we'll open up the eye stay and take a look at this a little bit later to see if there's any reinforcing. But yeah, I mean, this outsole is going to wear out instantly, and the footbed is paper thin, and then this fiber board here, which is it is a lasting board, but it's just giving the shoe a little extra stiffness, but it's not glued down or anything, so it's not going to do much. So this shoe, you know, if you step on a rock, it's going to go through the shoe and into your foot. So, you know. Woo! Okay, hey, that's cool. But that's, you know, what's the harm? So if you're thinking you're going to go to Mexico and buy a pair and be cool because you paid $20 for it, yeah, this is what you're going to get. And, yeah, no bueno. Okay, so that's, we're kind of 2 for 2 on terrible shoes. And we'll, you know, tune in again because we are going to cut these open and I'm going to show you side by side next to the real deal. So we will get to that. All right, let's set that aside. And the last shoe we have here is a Blazer Low. And let's haul this out and look at it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty light. So there must be something wrong with it because the Blazer is a vulcanized shoe. And it should be relatively heavy. So, you know, the Blazer has kind of a unique. Well, okay. Well, first things first. I see red all over the top of the shoe, and that's because of this inexpensive. The coloring on this box is scuffed in and got, you know, whether it was in the factory or wherever, it got transferred onto it. You know, stitching quality on this one doesn't look too bad. You know, this material in the front, I thought it was suede, but it turns out it's not. You can, if you look closely, you can see the weave pattern in it, so not actual suede. It does have some kind of a heel counter, no toe counter in it. But here the thing about the Blazer is here, this shoe should be vulcanized, and this unit is not. And whether it's injection molded or compression molded rubber. I get the feeling that it is, and let me smell it. Get the feeling it's probably PVC. So we're gonna put the left. We need the. I guess we'll keep that one there, the right one, and then we're going to. Let's just. What? Okay. Let's do this one. Let's just unlace it. Okay. So first things first. Yeah, I mean. The counter is a little bit low, which for a vulcanized shoe, maybe not the worst thing in the world. There's a lot of alignment marks here, which Nike generally doesn't use. But I want to just open this up and let's try to get a look at what the sole construction of this thing is. It is oil canning pretty well, so it kind of tells me that there's probably not much of a midsole inside. We'll peel up the footbed here. Yeah, it's pretty much 2 millimeters, and actually here we are. So, okay, this shoe. Oh, all right. So this shoe looks like it's also string lasted. It's string lasted, but instead of it's string lasted, and you can see, and it actually it's not very well glued down. But in the case of the other shoe, they just put the lasting board, inside, and in this case, the lasting board is on the outsole, so we can actually get underneath the edge of it, and we'll just start to. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so same situation here. This is an injection molded bottom unit. And they've string lasted. Oh, there's the injection port right down to the middle, if you can see that. There's the injection port. But this shoe has been string lasted and then they slapped the lasting board underneath the string, and then and then glued the outsole on top of the whole thing. So yeah, again, for a soft upper like this, to see that it's string lasted is it's a really inexpensive way to make a shoe, and it actually the shape wise, I mean that toe is actually not so far from blazer like, but yeah, I mean the texture and all this is atrocious, and obviously there's no logos on it anywhere, and you can just see how. And you can see how aggressive the texture is, and usually this kind of aggressive texture is just a way to disguise the poor mold making. And you see there's a little bit of over gluing, which is not uncommon. It's just not good. Is this shoe straight or twisted or cockeyed? Yeah, that's one of the issues with string lasting is, I mean, yeah, you can sort of, pull the string to get it straight and bend it around, but it's not a really sturdy way to get it precisely made. Again, this synthetic material that the upper's made out of is feeling pretty cardboard. So yeah, folks, these are pretty terrible, but actually, I enjoy showing these to you, and I promise you, in a future episode, we will slice these open, and we'll compare them to the real thing. But it is an interesting way to sort of look at the assembly processes that they're using. Again, this is not how Nike makes these shoes for real, and these are not even these are not even A-fakes. Yes, they carry the logo, but there's no attempt actually to make it, it's not like a super fake that you might get found out at a stock, that could fool a StockX or could fool a real authenticator. These are made in Mexico for the local market. Are these shoes going to last? No. They're going to fall apart. Are they going to be comfortable? No. These are pretty gluey. There's a big old wrinkle underneath the vamp of this one. So again, these are pretty terrible shoes. Don't buy fake shoes. So folks, if you want to learn more about how to spot fake sneakers, then please visit Shoemakers Academy and check out the book How to Spot Fake Sneakers. I'm Wade Matawi. I'm the Shoe Dog, and please feel free to reach out and call me. My email and contact is down in the description below. And thanks for watching, and be on the lookout, because we will be opening these shoes up to take a look inside, and we'll compare them to the real deal. So thanks for watching, folks.